Hi, I am Deborah R. Richardson of Debra R. Richardson LLC, and I work with you to help you clean up your vendor data, clean up your vendor processes so that you pay the right vendor. Now, this week's Vendor Master File tip of the week is take this step in January to catch a fraudulent payment made in December. And I really focus on January, but it could really be any time of the year. But I focus on January because usually that is the month that I get increased phone calls, increased emails because teams have found out that they've had a fraudulent payment in December because fraudsters really target that time of the year. They know that most of you are in year end, and so you have an increased volume, you're busy, and then you put on top of that holidays. It's a perfect time for them to strike and get that fraudulent payment through. And so this year, my LinkedIn newsletter for January 2024 is if you had to wait for a vendor to notify you of a fraudulent payment, you don't have enough controls. And in that, I offered a tip that I do want to share with you. But first, I want to say, please subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter. I will put a link in the description. So the one tip I wanted to share is that now, and really again, it could be any time of the year, but especially in January, contact all of your vendors that had remittance changes and payments in the month of December and verify they received the payment. Now, I actually recommend this be done before you send your pay files out to the bank or before you send your checks out. But if you haven't done that, now is a great time to just run a report and reach out to all of those vendors. Now, if you're very high volume and it's a lot of vendors and you're like, oh, I don't want to, call all my vendors with $20 payments, set a threshold and make that threshold whatever you feel your company can afford not to lose, and then call all of those vendors. Now, really what I suggest in that newsletter at the end is to look at your end-to-end process and really just plug up all of those gaps. I did create a brand new for 2024 training session, and it is free, and it talks about a 7-step process to plug up the gaps in your vendor process to avoid fraud, fines, and bad vendor data. All right, so that's it for today. If you like more information on how to improve your vendor process, please go to my website at debrarrichardson.com for free tools and resources to avoid fraud, fines, and bad vendor data. And if you would like over 115 annual hours of vendor process training, please go to training.debrarrichardson.com. So good luck, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified next Tuesday for the next Vendor Master File tip of the week.